Hi guys, it's Mrs. Tucker. We're going to do a video review for Chapter 1 since I'm not going to be able to have tutoring this afternoon because I have a sore tooth and I've got to go to the dentist. So I'm just going to tutor you through a video. Alright, so here we go. Chapter 1 review. Evaluate the expression 2 times x plus y. X goes here, y goes here. For x equals 6 and y equal 8. Okay, evaluate just means find the value of. Use your orders of operation. We're going to multiply first, and then we're going to add, and your answer should be 20. Hey, and did you guys see that there's an answer bank at the very end of this review? Yeah, go in there, find the 20, and scratch it out. Okay, so you know you got that one. All right, also, I want to say, when you guys come into class tomorrow, on the cart will be the test and a basket to put in your review. From the time the bell rings to the time the bell rings is 57 minutes. You only have 57 minutes to complete the test. If you have studied, you will be able to complete the test in 57 minutes. Okay? Number 2, evaluate x minus negative 13 if x is negative 1. So let's pop that in, substitute that in. Negative 1, subtract negative 13. Subtracting is the same thing as adding the opposite. Add a line, change the sign. You have 13 plus negative 1. The answer is 12. Okay? Check your answer bank, see if you find a 12. All right. This one, everyone gets this one wrong on the test. I highly recommend you draw a thermometer. Draw it out so you can see what's happening. The highest temperature recorded in the town of Westgate this summer was 96 degrees Fahrenheit. Last winter, the lowest temperature was negative 12. What is the difference between these extremes? They want to know the difference between these two. Don't you have to go up 12 here and then up another 96? Yeah, you had to go up a total of 12 and another 96, so that is 108 degrees. A lot of people take 96 and subtract 12 and you get the wrong answer. The actual math you're doing is you're taking 96, you are subtracting the other temperature. How do you subtract a negative number? You add a line and change the sign. That's why we get 108. Oh, don't miss that on the test tomorrow. Okay, next one. Simplify negative 4 squared. So my question to you is that negative 4 times negative 4? Or is this negative 1 times positive 4 times positive 4? Which one is it? Okay? If it was this one here, it would be written like this. Your base of negative 4 would be inside parentheses. But it's not written that way. So that's not what they're asking for here. They're asking for this. Okay, so negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. A lot of people miss that one on the test. Don't do that. Here for sure you know what your base is. You're taking negative 11 times negative 11 times negative 11. Is the answer going to be positive or negative? Yeah, a negative times negative is positive. Positive times negative is negative. Now you're going to crank this out by hand. And I just cranked it out by hand and I got 1331. Is that what you got? Great. Moving on. Find the square root of negative the square root of 81. That's like putting a negative 1 out front and multiplying by the square root of 81. They want the negative square root. So it's like taking negative 1 and multiplying by 9. Your answer is negative 9. All right, orders of operation. First, I'm going to do what's inside the parentheses. I look inside the parentheses and I see a power. We're going to do that first. So I have 21 plus 3 times 6 plus 8 times 8 is 64. Now, I'm going to do what's inside the parentheses. 64 plus 6 Yep, that's 70. Then I'm going to multiply 21 plus 3 groups of that is 210. And then I'm going to add those together and you get what? 231. All right? Number 8, simplify by combining like terms. I have 6x to the third there, I have 2x to the third there, and I don't have any other or y to the thirds. Did I say x? I meant y's. Those are like terms. When I put them together, I get, and since I'm adding, that's adding, yep, I'm adding, I get 8y to the third. Do not add the exponents. Okay, I don't have any other y squareds, so this guy's by himself. Minus 2y squared. Now check this out. I've got 10 x's right here and they're positive, and I'm taking away 7 x's from that. When you combine like terms here and here, I get plus 3x. And you are done. Is it in the answer bank? Okay, moving on. Divide. Don't forget to simplify if needed. All right? When you're dividing, you've got to change any mixed numbers into improper first. So 7 times 3 is 21, 22, 23, 24. I've got 24 sevenths divided by 5/6. How do you do that? Some people say keep flip. What is it that you guys say? Keep, change, flip. Is that what you say? Keep, change, flip. I do. Dividing fractions is easy as pie. Flip the second one and multiply. Okay? Now you're going to do tops times tops and bottoms times bottoms. And you're going to come up with a final answer. And if it's improper, change it back to a mixed number. Okay? You guys do that one. Simplify the expression. Okay, I've got 2 and 2 sevenths. I've got 3 and 2 fifths. And I've got 2 and 5 sevenths. And I'm adding them all together. When you're adding fractions, you have to have common denominators, okay? Well, you know what I noticed? This one has a common denominator of 7, and so does this one. I'm going to go ahead and add those together. The 2 and the 2 make 4. And how many sevenths? I've got 5 sevenths here plus 2 sevenths here. 5 plus 2, isn't that 7 sevenths? Yeah, and 4 and 7 sevenths, what's another name for that? Yeah, we're going to call that 5. So I've got 5 plus 3 and 2 fifths. Gosh, I don't even need common denominators now. I add those two together and I get 8 and 2 fifths. Yeah, pretty easy. We're scooting right along. Let's keep going. Okay, the coordinates of the 3 vertices of a rectangle are this, this, and this. Gosh, guys, when you're in algebra and even when you're in geometry, if they give you coordinates, find a piece of graph paper and graph it. Make yourself a picture so you can see what's happening, okay? So I gave you a piece of graph paper. I want you to plot those points so you can see what's happening. It says find the 4th coordinate. Find the coordinates of the 4th vertex. Coordinates are an ordered pair, x comma y. If it's a rectangle, you know it's got to be, the other set has to be right here, okay? That's not your bell. So the ordered pair there is what? 10 comma what? Yeah, -5. Now you need to find the area. Area of a rectangle is length times width. My length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My width is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, that's a special kind of rectangle. Yeah, and it would just be in, we'll just call it square units. Okay? Okay, problem number 12. The area of a square garden is 231 meters squared. Here is my square garden. All of this area in here is 231 little tiny square meters. They want you to estimate the side length of the garden to the nearest tenth. And most kids want to do this. Most kids want to do that. If you do that, that only gives you a fourth of the area. That gives you this piece right here that I'm highlighting. That does not give you the side length, does it? People, when you divide by 4, you're thinking I gave you perimeter. But I didn't give you perimeter, I gave you what? Yeah, how do you calculate the area of a square? If that's the side length and that's the side length, how do you calculate the area of a square? Side times side equals the area, right? Side times side equals 231. Some number times itself, written this way, gives you 231. How do you unsquare a number that's been squared? Find the square root, yeah. Take the square root of that side, the square root of that side. So S is the square root of 231. I wished I knew what the square root of 231 was. I don't know, 10 times 10 is 100. And I know 20 times 20 is 400. I know it's between 10 and 20. Do you guys know what 15 squared is? Good for you, 225. That is something handy to have parked in your memory bank. So I know it's a little bit bigger than 15. So maybe it's 15.1 times 15.1. You're going to test that out, because you're not going to have a calculator for this test. You don't get calculators until after 16 times 16 is what? 256. I know it's smaller than that. Okay. Is it 15.3 times 15.3? Well, you're looking at the answer bank. You're supposed to work this. You're not going to have an answer bank on the test tomorrow. Do you know how you're going to work it out to the nearest tenth? It does say to the nearest tenth. If you're off by a tenth, you don't get full credit. How are you going to estimate to the nearest tenth? You're going to do a little educated guess and check here. You might try that. You might, no, you're not going to have a calculator. Not for the Chapter 1 test. I got to see that you can add, subtract, multiply, and divide. I make sure you do that. So, I mean, that's a basic requirement to be in algebra. Oops, keep hitting the wrong button. So, you guys know how to do this one, right? All right. Let's go on to 13. A phone company advertises a new plan in which the customer pays a fixed amount of $35 per month, no matter how long you talk. And you know, these are the old plans. This is what the old plans used to be. I know the new plans are, it's unlimited everything for a certain amount of money. This is like an old plan, $35 a month for unlimited calls in the country and 15 cents per minute for international calls. It says write a rule or an equation for the monthly payment a customer pays according to the new plan. Well, I don't know what my payment is. You could call it P, you could call it Y. I know right now I'm going to call it Y because I know it's going to graph on the Y-axis. You could call it P if you want to. Maybe I should just change that. Let's call it P for payment, because we're going to talk about what graphs on which axis later. Let blank be the number of minutes per month. Maybe M. So I'm going to change my ordered pair here. I'm going to call this M, comma, P. So write a rule for the monthly payment a customer pays according to this new plan. The payment equals what? $35 per month for unlimited, and there's a clue word that implies an operation. Is that add, subtract, multiply, or divide? That's adding. Yep, and is a addition word. 15 cents per month. or 15 cents per minute. What comes here? 15 M. Okay, there's something a little bit off with what we just did. Jackson?
The decimal.
Yeah, if this is in dollars, this amount of money has to be in dollars also, so you need your decimal point there. Okay, so we wrote our rule. If you have 15 cents a minute multiplied by the number of minutes, then I know what they're going to charge us for international calls, plus the $35 a month for in-country calls. Okay, so now I've got my rule. P equals 35 plus 0.15 multiplied by the number of minutes. They say write ordered pairs. Ordered pairs have parentheses around it separated by a comma. That's what I'll be looking for on the test. Write ordered pairs for the monthly payment when a customer uses 10, 20, 50, and 100 international minutes a month. What's my M for the first one? What did they want me to use for M on this first one? 10. So that's 35 plus $1.50 gives you what? $36.50. So your ordered pair becomes, if I put in 10 minutes, then my answer is, let me put that over a little bit. If I talk for 10 minutes, I spend $36.50 that month. And you're going to keep going. What happens if I talk for 20 minutes? My international charge becomes what? $3 plus the 35 is?
39.
Shouldn't it be 38? So for 20 minutes of calls, my charge is going to be $38. Keep going. Keep going. You finish it. You finish it out. Okay. Okay, number 14. It says the design shows the layout of a vegetable garden and the surrounding path. The path is 2 feet wide. First, find the total area of the vegetable garden and the path. Then, step 2, find the area of the vegetable garden and the area of the path. So really you're doing 3 things here. If 1 bag of gravel covers 10 square feet, how many bags of gravel are needed to cover the path? There's 4 things they're asking us to do here, okay? So I'm actually going to make a little bit bigger picture here so you guys can see what's happening. There is the entire thing, and here is the vegetable garden. All right, and they tell us that this length from here to here is 9 feet. And does it say that it's square? Well, it's got to be because it's got 9 and 9. Yeah, so it is square. It says the path is 2 feet wide. That's this path. This is 2 feet. This is 2 feet. Here's 2 feet, and here's 2 feet, okay? Let's answer the first question. I highly recommend making a diagram like this so you can see what's going on. The first question was find the total area of the vegetable garden and the path. They want the area of the whole thing. It's a square, so to find the area of a square, length times width, or side times side, or side squared. We're going to put in what per our side length? 9. And 9 times 9 is? 81. And what's my units? Feet squared. Okay, that's the answer to number 1. Then on number 2, for step 2, they want you to find the area of the vegetable garden. Let's do that first. The area of the vegetable garden, that's the green square. Well, I need to know its length and its width. Didn't we take a total of 9 feet here and come in 2 feet on this side and again come in 2 feet on this side? Didn't we take the length of that? That's not your bell. Don't get up and leave. That's not your bell. If I don't say it in the video, kids get up and leave when they watch it. I'm taking the whole side length of the path and I'm reducing that length by how much to come up with the length of the garden. What's the length from here to here?
5 feet.
Yeah, how'd you get 5 feet?
You subtracted 4 by 9.
Right. You know what a lot of kids forget to do? They forget to subtract that last 2. A lot of kids will bring in the path 2 feet this way and they'll forget that number right there. So my vegetable garden is 5 by 5, so the area of the vegetable garden is what? 25 feet squared. Okay. Now I want to know the area of just the path. That's the area of everything in yellow. It's like taking the area of the whole square and removing the green square from it.
Just subtract.
Yeah, we're just going to subtract. We're going to take 81 and subtract 25, and what's left over is the area of just the path. Did you get 56 square feet?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if one bag of gravel covers 10 square feet, well, let me ask you first, are you going to put gravel in your vegetable garden? Where is the gravel going? In the path. Yeah, I don't want to walk on mud when I'm walking around my garden. So I'm going to put the gravel around the path. So everything's going to be based on that area right there. If one bag of gravel covers 10 square feet, how many bags of gravel are needed? How do I calculate that, Mason?
You would have 1 bag of gravel for 10 square feet, so it'd be 6 bags.
Okay, I want the actual process. You took 56 and did what to it? Anybody, Corbin?
You take the 56 and divide it by 10.
Yeah, 56, a total of 56 square feet. And each bag has 10 square feet in it. So it's a division problem, and you wind up getting 5.6 bags. But, Corbin, finish the statement.
You can't buy a sixth of a bag.
You can't buy a sixth of a bag.
You have to buy another one.
Yeah, you can either buy 5 bags or you can buy 6 bags, but you can't buy part of a bag. If you buy 5 bags, you're not going to have enough. So you have to do what to your answer? Round it up to 6 bags. Yep. There you go. Don't forget to come in the distance on both sides. Okay? Are we ready for the next problem? Oops, I keep hitting the wrong one. Okay, find the value of 8.2 plus 4/5. I'm either going to change 0.2 to a fraction, or I'm going to change 4/5 to a decimal. Whichever one you want to do. Decimal, do you all know what 4/5 is as a decimal? You should have it memorized. You know the 5-finger rule? I've got 5 fingers. My fingers divide my hand into fifths. This is 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5. So this is 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8. Yeah. I've got 8.2 and 4.8. Add those together. What'd you get?
13.
I got 13 also. An architect, on number 16, an architect charges $1,750 for the first draft of a 3-bedroom house. If the work takes longer than 8 hours, the architect charges $115 for each additional hour. What would be the total cost for the first draft that took 15 hours to complete? Okay, he charges for the first hour, or for the first draft. And that's for the first 8 hours, actually. He charges $17.50. Did this one take longer than 8 hours?
Yes.
Yeah, it took 15. So he's going to charge an additional $115 for how many hours?
15. So.
Yeah, it's if the work takes longer than 8 hours, the architect charges $115 for each additional hour. So it's going to be 15 minus 8, or 7. $17.50 plus 115 times 7. Did you get an answer?
Yes.
Chris, what'd you get?
I got $2,585.
Anybody else get that? Corbin? Yeah? I agree. That's what I got.
Considered a ripoff?
I don't know if it's a ripoff.
Because
I've never hired an architect.
$1,750 for the first.
Why wouldn't you
draft?
just do another hour?
It's a 3-bedroom house. Architects want to get paid. Do I think that's a reasonable amount to pay an architect if you're actually designing a house and he's doing the blueprints? That's, to me, that's nowadays that's probably cheap. Let's go on to number 17. Yep. Simplify by combining like terms. Looks like you're going to have to use some distributive property, and you're distributing in -2, so be careful here. You're going to include your what when you're using distributive property? Your arcs. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times -4? You get that? I'm going to assign this subtraction. I'm going to call that -2, and I'm going to take -2 times x and get what?
Negative minus 2x
And then I'm going to take -2 times -9.
plus 15. 18.
Now I'm going to combine like terms. I'm going to put the positive 4x together with the -2x, and then I'm going to put -16 together with a positive 18. What's the final answer?
2x plus 2.
X plus 2.
-2x?
2x.
Okay, 2x plus 2. Yep. Okay, on number 18, combine like terms. I have 4 times the quantity x minus 4, subtract x minus 9. Yikers. What's the invisible number that should go right here?
1.
I'm going to put a 1 in there. Okay, you guys do your distributive property, and I'll wait on you. You guys should have already done this now, and I'm going to catch up. 4x minus 16 minus x, -1 times -9 is a positive 9. I've got 4x minus an x. I have 3x. I have -16 plus 9 is -7. Yeah? Okay. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button. Okay, Okay. Salvador's class has collected 144 cans in a food drive. They plan to sort the cans into P bags. With an equal number of cans in each bag, write an expression to show how many cans there are in each bag. I take 144 and I'm doing fair shares. Is that addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? Yep, that's right. That's just way too easy for you guys. Evaluate -6 times k if k is -9. That's too easy for you guys. What'd you get? 54. Did you get A? You should have. 21. Leah scored a total of 16 points in a basketball game, and she scored P points in the second half of the game. She scored a total of 16 points in the basketball game, and she scored P points in the second half of that basketball game. Write an expression to determine the number of points she scored in the first half of the game. That's the first thing they want you to do. That's part 1. So what's the expression? 16 plus P? 16 is the total number of points for the whole game, and P is the number of points for the second half. How do you figure out the points for the first half? Yeah, we've got to subtract P. So I think I already know the rest of the answer. It says, then find the number of points she scored in the first half of the game if she scored 10 points in the second half of the game. What did she score in the first half? Yeah, the answer has to be D. Evaluate k divided by -8 if k is -24. What's -24 divided by -8? What's negative divided by negative?
Positive.
Positive what?
3.
Positive 3.
Yay.
Wow, those are easy. Moving on. Okay, Monica hiked at Yosemite Park for 2.5 hours. Her average speed was 3.25 miles per hour. How many miles did she hike? She's going 2.3 miles per hour for 2.5 hours. What do? Multiply. Yep. Multiply that out. All right, here's everything else you guys need to do in 15 seconds or less. Pause the video if you need to. We're done!
We did it!
Yay! Okay, we just got 4 more and we'll wrap this up. Number 26, translate the word phrase, the product of 3.5 and the difference of -6 and -2 into a numerical expression. The product of 3.5, I'm going to take 3.5 and I'm multiplying it by the product of 3.5 and this right here. So I'm going to multiply that by the difference of -6 and -2. Let's see, do we have anything in here that looks like that? Yeah, it looks like this one right here. All right. On 27, write 12 times 58 using the distributive property, then simplify. All right, we're either going to do, if we're going to use distributive property, we're either doing something like this, 12 times like 50 plus 8, or we could be doing 58 times 10 plus 2. See how I'm taking each one of these factors and busting them apart? Let's see here. Which one of these looks like something? Actually, doesn't this one right here? Doesn't A look like I took this times this and got 12 times 50 plus this right here is this times this, 12 times 8. And I'm guessing when I multiply this out, I get 696. And quite honestly, could have multiplied that out in the first place because there's only one 696. Yeah. Okay. Number 28. Lester has coins in pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. The total amount of money he has in dollars can be found using the expression P plus 5N plus 10D plus 25Q divided by 100. Use the table to find out how much money Lester has. Okay, he's got 24 pennies. Look at our answers, they're all in dollars. So 24 pennies, 24 pennies is 24 cents. Dividing by 100 out here is what's going to convert it to dollars. So I've got 24 plus, nickels are worth 5 cents. So 5 cents each times 6 nickels, plus dimes are worth 10 cents. 10 cents times the number of dimes I have, 6, plus quarters are 25 cents each, so it's 25 times the number of quarters, 4. And then when you get all of that added up, that'll be number of cents that you have. Then you're going to take all of that and divide by 100 to convert it into dollars. Okay? So it's 24 plus 30 plus 60 plus 100 divided by 100. Well, let's see. We've got 100 plus 90 is 190 plus 24 is 214. 214 divided by 100 turns it into dollars. We have $2.14. All right. 29. Give 2 ways to write the algebraic expression 22p in words. You could say the product of 22 and p. You could say 22 multiplied by p, 22 times p, 22 groups of p. I know it's not a quotient. I know we're not subtracting. I know we're not adding. It has to be that one. 22 times p or 22 groups of p. I think that's all we have, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. The end. All right, I want everybody to make 100s tomorrow, okay? All right, good luck.